Hello and welcome to Atas channel. Today, our invited guest, co-founder of Biko Trading School and an official partner of Atas, Yuri, will be hosting the webinar and introduces us to profitable footprint trading strategies. As usual, we will hosting the webinar and he will introduces us to profitable strategies. As usual, we will conclude with a review of trading examples, answers to your questions, and we also post a link to download a free book about trading. Also, we would like to remind you that you can practice a new strategy on the Atas platform for free. Download the platform using the link provided in the description if you haven't installed it yet. So let's get started.
Friends, welcome. Happy to see all of you here. I'm super happy to see you here. What will be today's topic? Today we are going to share with you about how to use Atas trading platform with a footprint. It will be really powerful trading strategy. I will show to you how you can use footprint with combination of understanding of a trend, in what cases, what strategy is better to use. For a start, it's super important to understand what footprint is and how to use it. That's why, for a start, what we do, my friends, share with me a few words about audio quality, and after that, we'll go to cover it. Okay. Daniel, hello. Hello, friends. I'm happy to see all of you here. Okay. To see all of you here. Good. I see quite a lot of you. I open my phone to see you and your comments. Okay. That's why, once more, what will be a topic today? First, we'll cover what footprint is. After that, I will show you how to read the most important data in a footprint. And at the end of this masterclass, I will show to you my free strategies that I use together with footprint. Remember, every time when I speak about some indicators, I always tell to people that there is no one magic indicator on the planet that can show to you 100% trade only this. Because if that would exist, some people would create a robot and make millions from that. Market consists from we are a market. A lot of people together, it is a market. That's why market move, because of people make transactions, and you need to understand in what cases and in what areas those transactions appears. Because in some cases, some volume would be super bullish signal. In some cases, it would be super bearish. Okay, let's start with Atas footprint trading strategy. Share with me at this moment how many of you know what's footprint. Write plus into the chat if you know what is footprint. Write minus if you don't know. Footprint. Footprint, basically, my friends, it is Zobra nice shirt. My apology. Nice shirt. Thank you, my friend. Happy to see you here. Bit Phantom, happy to see you here also. I see most of you understand what's footprint. From 1 to 10, how you understand what's footprint? Basically, footprint, it is a rengen of your candle. It shows to you inside what's going on. It shows to you where people did transactions, because market consists from transactions. People take trades, people set stop losses, take profits, etc. That means in a footprint, you can see exactly where people bought and sold quite significant amount of coins. Footprint show executed orders of buyers and sellers. Yes, good, executed. Compared to a candle, where you can see, for example, it is a candle. Most of the people analyze it, and I don't know why most of the people don't use footprint, because footprint, it is X-ray. Imagine you go to a doctor and you would ask a doctor, I broke my leg. What I need to do? Do I need hips or etc. Normal doctor would tell you, okay, let's do a picture. Let's see what's going on inside and make a decision. The same with the footprint. You don't need to guess. Did some people bought here or not? You don't guess. You just see. That's why footprint really cool stuff. That's why most of the people, when they do analysis, they use such regular chart. Advanced people use footprint chart. I personally, like if you let me open Atas, and you will see my personal chart. I personally use only footprint chart in Atas because I can see exactly where most of the volume were traded, and biggest volume will be often significant movement. I started following you since last year, but I still don't know to enter a trade using footprint and DOM. I will show to you my strategies and you'll understand them. Okay, let's cover 3 types of a footprint, and after that we will cover my strategies. Basically, it is a footprint. Once more, when you open Atas platform, you will find such footprint on most of the instruments. You can see you can analyze crypto, you can analyze futures, S&P. The most important, it must be centralized data from centralized exchanges. Okay, a few seconds, it would load it. Like at this moment in front of your eyes, it is a BNB. And have a look. Honestly, I didn't know that this would happen, honestly. But have a look. Exactly, pay attention, this stuff, this red stuff, it shows to us where biggest volume were traded. And pay attention that biggest volume were exactly here at top, and price exactly stopped here. Let me close most of this stuff. You don't need it. Depth of market. Have a look. It is a footprint chart on BNB coin. It is quite big coin. I know that some of you might trade S&P, crypto. It doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. But pay attention where biggest volume and how price exactly dropped from this volume, 3.4%. That's example for you. How significant volume can stop a price, can move a price, etc. The most important to see that volume in a proper place. From 1 to 10, share in the comments how this stuff is understandable for you at this moment. Let me show to you Bitcoin footprint chart. Like you can basically in Atas, you can open any footprint chart that you desire. Like pay attention here, footprint chart. That's my favorite one. 7, 10, 8. Okay. Let's go and cover what exactly of data you can see inside in your footprint. First, it is a volume chart, bid ask, and delta. There are 3 major type of charts that you can use that can show to you data. First one, it is a volume. That's example for you. What this numbers means to you? It is a total coins that were bought and sold in the middle of this footprint. Like at this moment, you can see here 15 millions. That means someone bought and sold together this 15 mil. You don't know where buyers stronger here, sellers stronger here. No, it's just combined together. And it shows to you that this level really important. I personally mostly use this chart. And let's open here in Atas. And you can see like exactly right now, the same chart we use here on our BNB. And you can see at this moment, BNB, pay attention, exactly bounced from this level where someone bought and sold 19,600, 100 coins. It's quite significant, honestly, for BNB, exactly into a top. And price after that, at this moment, dropped several percent from this significant volume. You can see it. That's a volume chart. It shows to you combine volume together. Right plus if this clear. If I explain this good enough. I will show to you. Okay. Plus, good. The next one, my friend, it is bid ask. Like you can analyze this data differently from different angle. Like bid ask. How many of you know what's bid ask mean? Like the same chart, same coin, Koti, pay attention. Instead of 15 mil, we have 7.3 and 8.5. Do you know what this numbers means, my friends? Yes. Remember that people, when they make trades, they do it with market order. And sometimes some part of the people, let me show to you this one. Sometimes some part of the people, when they take trades, remember that part of the people, they always do long positions with market order, and they do a short position with market orders. When you open bid ask, it shows to you what exactly people do with the market orders. Why it's super important? Because market orders, they can show to you aggression of a market. Let me show to you how you can find it in ATAS. You can go to settings, and really simple cluster settings. And here, pay attention, we have mode and we have content. Instead of volume, just do bid ask, for example, centralize. And let's zoom in at this moment. And have a look what they do, what they show to us. They show to us amount of coins that were sold and were bought exactly here in the middle. You can do different settings. How many of you know why this stuff is super important? Volume profile, bid ask profile. You can see here bid ask. Heat map by volume, bid ask volume proportion. You can see that, for example, here people did bigger buy. Yes, remember that this stuff we will use in the future. Why this stuff will be important? Because in the future, we use several strategies. We have a strategy based on liquidations, and quite often you will see a significant movement. And for example, after such acceleration, here you see a lot of buy. In most cases, that would be a signal that someone got liquidated, that short sellers forced to cover and they moved order book really fast. That's why you must understand when you see market orders, it's logical is that market order, they hit sell and they hit buy. If you open market sell order, you hit buy limit. If you open buy market order, you hit sell limit. It's of course there would be always two sides, but the most important who is more aggressive. Just give me a few minutes and I will explain to you how to use it, how I personally use it. And third one, it is delta. Delta shows to you difference between buy and sell, between how much people bought and sold by using market orders. But once more, by using market orders. Because as I explained to you before, we always have two sides of a trade. We always have when someone buy with market order, they hit sell limit. When people sell with market order, they hit buy limit. That means there are always two sides of a trade. But why it's super important to see this stuff, delta? Guys, why it's super important to see delta? What's your thoughts? Share in the chat, share in the comments. While you're sharing, I will reply to Kaz Mizra. How to open footprint chart? Super simple. You go here in ATAS. You have type of a chart. You just for example, from bars or candles. You just go to clusters, and voila, you have your clusters. You have cluster chart, and after that you go here settings, and you here in cluster settings. Here you write what exactly data you would like to see. For example, delta. Let's cover what's delta and delta profile. Why delta is super important? Because have a look. Even here, example for you. Someone tried to sell quite a lot on BNB while price started squeezing up. That means a lot of people that open here short positions, what they did? With big chance, most of them here got liquidated. You can see exactly where volume entered. Once more, I personally like to use delta in a candle because I personally, as you can see, my setup really simple. I like to see delta in a candle because I understand if biggest volume traded in some area, like in most cases, I stop losses, etc. That's why I don't use delta or bid ask. I use simple volume profile, and I use, as you can see, delta on the chart. You need to understand that all of this information, they show to you the same information, but on a different angle. And you need to know in what cases you can use it, because like we will go to strategies and soon you will understand. And have a look again. Volume, bid ask, delta, they show to you the same data. Even here, 15 mil, if you add these numbers, it would be the same volume, and here it would be this delta. It just on a different angle. Same data, just by using different angle. Caps, can I use ATAS for Forex? Yes, you can use, you can trade futures, you can use for S&P, CME Gold. Dear ATAS admin, ban this guy because he don't understand. Ban this guy because he don't understand how to write one time and wait for reply. Okay. The most important question, why you came, most of you here, it is because you need to know how to use it. Do you agree with me that the most important stuff, it is how to use it? Write plus if you agree that it is the most important. Okay, let's go. Remember, as I told you, there is no one single strategy on the planet that could be game changing. There is no one single indicator. That's why I use it together. I use it together with a logic, because the most important stuff in a market. Who know what's the most important stuff in a market? The most important stuff is to understand where would liquidity go. Because remember that in a market, we compete for liquidity with market makers. Market, it is like big poker table, and we compete with other traders for income. And for you, it's super important to understand where you will take money, because market does not create money. It is just redistributed. The same if you play poker and you sit on a table, like 8 people came on the table, they play poker. Some of them make a good profit and they go home with money, but other people, they have less money. But what's the difference between poker and crypto or other markets? For example, on crypto, on Binance, only 200 million people have accounts. 200 million. On Bybit, maybe 50 million. That means the table is so huge that for you it's super easy and possible to take money from that. That's it. That's why we use several strategies. And let me explain to you what exactly liquidity means in those strategies. Okay, breakout. First, and the most like really powerful, I really like this strategy, just beautiful. Breakout. What's the major idea of breakout? It is when price stay in some range environment. We often have breakout situations. Let me show to you example here. It was my really beautiful breakout trade. Honestly, super sad that I took only here 3%. It is during ETF approval. I took here only 3%. It was 45. After that, price dropped additional 15%. What was the major logic here and how we used footprint there? During breakout, it's super important to see volume increase. And in that case, often you will see something like this. Volume spike and footprint become like this one. Big crowded volume. Let me open this that place on ATAS. Let me open that place. It would be way better, I think. Let's add some data. And let me show to you exactly when it was that moment. And you understand that logic behind that, and you understand how you can use it together. Friends, share with me in the comments at this moment from 1 to 10 how interesting is this masterclass for you. Are you boring, or you see really value? You receive quite a lot of value here. Share, because we do at least once per month with us such masterclasses. And it's important to hear, like, do you enjoy or not? To understand what we can improve and what we can do better. Have a look here. It was exactly that breakout. It was exactly this moment. Quite often, increase in a footprint when you see something like this crowded volume profile like this one. It is a good signal for breakout, because often a good signal for breakout, it is when volume, exactly volume increase here, and volatility is small. And as you remember, we took here short for continue. What was confirmation of this breakout? There was some logic. I will explain logic within a few seconds, but here, pay attention. We had open interest and we have negative delta with volume increase. That means market maker here become aggressive. Market maker become aggressive. And what this stuff means? It means that for breakout, it's super good, because I will show to you, I could show to you many examples for breakout. I will show to you another one. It is the best confirmation for breakout. When you see a volume increase in a footprint, open interest and delta. Why I show to you at this moment like open interest and delta? Because, my friends, as I told you, there is no one single indicator that you can use. And with a footprint, I use personally open interest and delta in crypto market. If you have it in other markets, also highly recommend you to use, because that shows to you when market maker exactly push a price. What was additional logic here behind this breakout? First, and the most, as I showed to you, it is volume increased in a footprint. That's really good. Second one, pay attention how big volume were exactly here during ETF approval. Here was one of the biggest volumes that traded on BTC futures in USD during this year. You can see quite significant volume spikes exactly at high. A lot of people got trapped on ETF approval. And what this stuff means is they got trapped on ETF approval. When buyers got trapped and market maker move price against them, what they do? Why they move it against them? Your thoughts. Why market maker here trapped a lot of people and move price against it? Because this one, it is clear signals that someone moved price down for a reason. It is you can see a manipulation on a chart by your own eyes. Logic here was super simple. Buyers that got trapped during ETF approval, their stop losses were exactly here. Pay attention how price moved down until this stuff. Do you know what this stuff means? Friends, do you know what this stuff means or not? Write plus or minus. This stuff, it is liquidation, because when you see the delta drop by 10,000 coins, Bit Phantom, my friend, it is not only, it is liquidation event, because stop loss hunt, like stop loss hunt, it is this one. But when you see 10K delta, it's liquidations. It's clear liquidation. What they did, they trapped here a lot of buyers and they went down to take their stop losses. That's why, that's example for you. What's major idea of breakout? Market maker make breakout to take stop losses of some people. Is it the same as a capitulation? Yes, it is the same as a capitulation. Dani, we help all our students to set up. We share all templates how to set up a task. That's why, once more, let me go back. It is exactly screenshot from a task that I took in a moment when I took a trade. Pay attention. What I saw trapped bias above during ETF event. After that, what I saw, this beautiful range when price calmed down. I like when price before breakout calmed down. And here, exactly this significant volume increase with other indicators that gave me a confidence that there would be beautiful breakout. And you can see that I would need to keep my position really longer because I took only this part of a move, and they after that dropped additional even bigger part. That's why a recommendation for you for targets when you trade breakout with a footprint and other indicators, you can keep your trade until someone got liquidated. Friends, your questions regarding this. Here, open interest chart. It is on Bybit. Same open interest chart. Pay attention. Open interest rose up and exactly dropped during this candle. That means what they did, they trapped all buyers here and way down for their liquidity. Remember, the market, it is the best machines that go for liquidity. As one of my students told me once, if you don't know what's liquidity and where is the liquidity, that means you are a liquidity. Okay. That's once more, it is a breakout. I can show to you another examples of breakout trades. If some of you remember me, we also took breakout trade here when price also started to increase. As you can see, again, beautiful range. Price started to squeeze, and exactly here, delta increased, open interest started to adding, volume increase, and in a footprint chart, we saw massive volume spike. That's example for you, beautiful breakout. And pay attention how price after that moved up without any pullback. Another breakout that happened here, volume spike, delta increase, open interest increase, and Bitcoin to the moon. There were a lot of breakout patterns where BTC did exactly this over and over again. It is really good when BTC add volume before breakout. Question: is it better to use USD chart or coin margin chart to get more insight? You mean open interest delta or what? For chart, better to use for chart. Better to use simple USD price. Okay, let's go in other examples. It is like sometimes like breakout, major idea of breakout that you take a trade exactly before breakout happens. Sometimes breakout happens and you are looking entry for continue. And in that case, sometimes you can take a trade at pullback. Let me show to you other strategy. It is bounce, rebound. When you can trade such stuff. This example, it was here on Ethereum. I took this trade. It was a major reason why I took trade here. It was exactly a screenshot from my trade. I made on that trade 1,153, but honestly, I took only 2%, 2.3%. If I would keep my position longer, it would be maybe 4 or 5K. Because have a look. It is another strategy how we use a footprint. I saw that Ethereum were in a bull trend and Ethereum broke this channel. And honestly, it is a good signal that there could be expansion, because remember that market maker, when they build their positions, they often move price into their direction. And what happened here exactly? They retested this channel border and someone started buying significant coins. Pay attention. Do you see this number? 14,880 coins. That means someone started putting really significant numbers into these clusters. The same happened on futures, and the same happened on a futures market and on a spot market. And guess what happened here? Really significant movement by many percent. Does it work with stock options trading? My friend, it works best with centralized markets, futures centralized markets. Hasta la vista, baby. You are shorting again on BTC. Man, opened my analysis. We take trades for long at VWAP. Yes, sometimes we take short for small targets. Do you work with Amir trade tools? My friend, I work with Atas. Like Atas, I don't need for crypto Amir trade. It's another platform. This beautiful trade for long, and pay attention here, I took 2.3%. What's the major logic here? When you see, for example, beautiful breakout and price come back to some level and you see significant absorption in a cluster chart, that's a good confirmation for continuing a trade. But once more, as I showed to you, remember, as I told you, I don't use one indicator. Pay attention that here we spoke about trend, good area way more than about big volume. Big volume, it is really good confirmation of a trend movement. Don't use one indicator at all. Use together indicators. Okay, and a third one, how you can use it, it is a knife. Is there a reason why you use Bybit over Binance, Michael? Yes, there are several reasons. First, do you think I like all the problems that Binance have with US regulators, etc.? Second, Bybit work with me way better as with partners. They do better functions with me. Next, Bybit only one exchange that gives you online open interest data. Binance give that with every 15 seconds only. That means Bybit really fast, work better with partners. They regulated all platforms you connect. They work really fast. That's why Bybit good exchange. Binance, if they wouldn't have any problems with law, they also would be really good. But okay, let's go to third pattern that you can use with order flow. Share with me at this moment from 1 to 10 about this one, Rebound. Do you like it? Or you don't like it? Also, hasta la vista. If you would see in our community how many plans and ideas I sent for long on altcoins this month, I maybe sent 30 or 20 trading plans only for long. That's why, yes, we took shorts on BTC, etc., but altcoins long only. Because when you place your entry, do you use market orders or limit orders? Crypto moves so fast, I think price is gone. Yes, sometimes price moves really fast. That's a reason why I like this, for example, breakout strategy, because breakout, in a moment of breakout, they move for a start slowly, and you have quite a lot of time to take a trade. What I don't recommend you, if price already dropped, for example, several percent, to try to catch a train. No, you don't need it. Only in the case of pullback, you can take a trade. But I recommend you to take to work with limit orders, because you will have a smaller commission. I always, when I can, but often ideas, I recommend you to use limit orders because you will pay a smaller commission. Okay, I see that. What broker do you work with? I work with exchanges, Bybit. I tried on Bybit only. Let's go to a third strategy. It is a knife. This stuff was really good when Bitcoin were in a range market. As Hasta La Vista wrote some stuff about that I took short trades, I took and I took short, I took long, and major reason why I took it because Bitcoin were in a range for 1.5 years, and sometimes you adjust to some strategy and you start loving it because you understand it. And honestly, sometimes to make a change, it takes time. And people like Hasta La Vista would never understand it because when he trade on demo account, he don't understand what it means to change what you traded, for example, 1.5 year. At this moment, it is a knife. It is the best strategy for range market. When you have a range market, it is just bellissimo. It is a trade that we took on BTC and have a look. Beautiful fake out. What's major idea of this strategy? When Bitcoin create a range, a lot of people, for example, here, they build their positions above a range, and for example, short sellers, people that were in a short, they build their positions and they hide their stop losses above. Let's make Atas screen without any volume and explain to you simple logic of a strategy. Imagine a situation that, for example, some coin did significant move, pumped quite a lot, and a lot of people started shorting while price create a range because a lot of people don't miss to reversal of a market. And guess where most of them hide their stop losses? Guess where most of them hide their stop losses, friends? Yes, most of them hide their stop losses exactly in this area, above highs. Because that's what most people do. And quite often you will see such moment. Price for a start takes stop loss higher and after that go lower. Now, like it's a beautiful liquidity hunt. That's it. We love that strategy, and that strategy work good only in a range market. Remember that it is only good for a range market. When you have beautiful trend market, it is difficult to trade it. You need to know how to take it because there are some difficulties. I can discuss what difficult during trend market if you wish. Example for you, how you would see the stuff on a footprint chart. You would see exactly above high volume increase. If you open delta, biggest delta would be exactly here. Do you know why biggest delta would be exactly here? Example like yesterday BTC did. By the way, beautiful knife. They took stop losses and went down. What was a delta exactly here at high? In a moment, if you open smaller time frame, a few seconds, let me update it. Few seconds, waiting for a response. Okay, once more, major idea, you understand that market maker would take stop losses and go into opposite direction, and that's it. And you take a knife entry. We like it, and honestly, I have a lot of knife trades. And here, what's the most important stuff? It is to find a place when price become range. Yes, here often you would see that a lot of people that were in a short position here, they forced to buy back. And when you see big delta spike here, it just perfect. When you see big delta exactly here at high, it would be just amazing for you because it will confirm that short sellers got liquidated. And for market maker, in most cases, there would be no reason to go higher. They would do some pullback. In knife, what is the best exit? First, depends what could be best entry and exit. Let me explain. First, about let's build a structure. What really important to pay attention to knife? What mistakes I did? When price start uptrend, especially after long range, sometimes there would be breakout, especially when you see that price slowly squeezing up and open interest increase with delta. Often there could be breakout. And knife better to take when price did quite significant movement and started made first pullback. And when you have clear range, here you start trading knife strategies nearly key levels. Knife would work really badly after clear breakout. If real powerful breakout happened after significant range, in most cases, in that case, knife wouldn't work. That's a reason why you need to know this breakout strategy, because it would be exactly opposite. Imagine this breakout strategy here, you try to take knife. No, but pay attention here how many times you could take knife. Here, even this local knife. Here you could took really beautiful, powerful knife strategy trades. But even this one, often I recommend people to have take profit when you have clear range borders. When you have, for example, clear range, better to, if you took fake out, better to keep your trade until range low. That's it. Because if trend really powerful, the bigger chance trend would continue. What mistake I personally did with quite a lot of trades? I took beautiful knife and I waited for really big pullback, but price gave me only 3-4%, and after that continue. You need to understand that against a trend, you take small targets. Guys, once more, if you see, for example, price broke a range, started trend, hit key area, here you take knife 3-4% and get out, because with bigger chance you would see something like this. If you take knife against a trend, only few percent. When you have a range, for example, you adjust to range borders. If range distance, for example, here 3%, you keep until range low or range high. Against a trend, super small targets, 3-4%. Zobra, not only difference with how fast and how price move. Before breakout, price should start squeezing. Major liquidity should be taken at high, and open interest move up with delta. That's breakout. Like price squeeze down, price move slowly down. It's like a train. It just slowly start. And when they accelerate often after they started a move. It's like a train. Sometimes for them it's difficult because a lot of resistance. Fake out must happen fast. As fast it happens, as better. Like this one. Big volume, dominated volume, and they took this high really fast. Sometimes you would see like this structure. Let me show to you a difference in structure. Even yesterday with Solana. Best knife when price move really fast, because with bigger chance it is stop losses liquidated. Few seconds, some task doesn't load my BTC chart. Difference between knife and breakout, that breakout often happens slowly. Even this one, have a look, like this one. They did breakout because this strategy, it was already continue for breakout. And what they did, they slowly went up. They did pull back. Here they were in a range. But here, this knife, have a look how fast. Liquidated. one 15-minute, another 15-minute, immediate pullback. That's a difference. Massive volume spike. There must be always big volume spike in a knife, like this one. Beauty here in a footprint. You can see that exactly someone got liquidated. You can use footprint as this one, or you can use delta below in a chart. Depends what is better for you. Like some people use this one. In what cases footprint won't help you? If that volume in the middle of some range. Honestly, if I don't have some pattern, I don't use it because sometimes it's difficult to use it. Let's reply to some of your questions and connect at us and show to you examples. A few more examples with a knife. Share with me in the comments, should I show to you a few more examples of knife? Share in the chat. Write plus in the chat if you would like me to show you at least 2-3 examples. Only one person. Simon. Okay. Few seconds. Atas loads and I will show to you. Please deep dive into breakout and knife. What's the difference in a footprint and indicators in this two? Yes, I will explain to you. Major difference, once more, between breakout and fake out. First, depends when it happens. Let me show to you what's major difference once more before between breakout and fake out. First, breakout often happens after price were in a range. Price were in a range. Market maker build a position and they often start a trend. And often this trend starts slowly. And here you would see volume increase. And you would see open interest increase, because really good breakout happens with open interest and volume increase. Clusters, you would see big volume in clusters. That's breakout. What about fake out? First, fake out you can trade in two cases. First, when price in a range and price move from high and low of that range. In that case, you can trade fake out. It is a time for fake out because market maker build a position. Even let me show to you a few examples of a range market. Even this range market on BTC, when BTC creates some local range, what they did, they took high of a range, go down. They took high, they took stop losses. And after that, do you see they started squeeze up? That means trend continue. Sometimes before BTC were quite really long period of time in a range. Sometimes there were periods when BTC were 1 month, 2 months in a range. Like at this moment, what they do, they create this upward channel, like rangy upward channel. And here you can use a dynamic channel. You can use a VWAP as a borders here. And you can see that here, what they did, they bounced, for example, from this level to this level. This one, local range, they did local breakout. They took liquidation with big delta and they went back. Like for breakout, it is really important to have something like this. When volatility decreased, price slowly started to squeeze up, open interest increasing exactly before breakout, and you can see in the clusters that volume started to build up. That's example for you, what breakout. Remember that this breakout could be on a bigger time frame. It could be on a here 15-minute time frame, and sometimes it could be price can be in a range for weeks, for days. Example for you like this one, link weekly. let me open to you this weekly chart on Link, and you will understand what I mean. Link were in a range for 2 years. For 2 years, Link were in a range market. Just give me a few times. And when Link were in a range, your major target was to trade that range borders. And you would see that Link broke that range with volume spike, open interest spike. And after that, trend started to rise. Just give me a few seconds, 6 March. They load one more year. But what difference between knife? Knife works better when price in a range. And when breakout happens, often you have a period when price move really fast and up only. During this time, better to take knives only into trend direction. It is not good time when you take against a trend. Against a trend, you can take like 2-3% and get out, because often you would see price liquidated someone, made a pullback and continue. Like that would be something like this structure. Honestly, it's not good to keep this position really long. But sooner or later, you would see that coin would start creating something like this. And it is again a time when you can start trading knives. This period, it is the most horrible period for knife strategy against a trend, because your maximum potential 2-3, sometimes 4%, but against you price can move a lot. But again, here for knife, it is a golden time. Example for you, this link chart. Have a look. Link chart, price were in a range since September 2022. That's example for you when it was a golden time for fake out strategy. Remember one golden rule: you trade a trend until it breaks. And here it was the best time to trade range environment. Here, when price made first move here, especially volume spiked significantly, and honestly, it was really bad time to trade fake outs. But again, when Lean created this range, and have a look how volume spiked before. In a footprint, you can see massive volume spike before breakout. Do you see this one? Often before breakout, volume spikes dramatically. And this time, it was really horrible time to trade fake out strategy. But again, pay attention. It is on weekly. When they created this range, what they did: higher high fake out, higher high fake out, lower low fake out. Again, fake out strategy came back. That's why you need to understand about seasons, that sometimes season of breakout after long accumulation. And as big as this accumulation, bigger move will be. Like at this moment, Link, if you open like 4-hour time frame or some lower time frame, what would you see? You would see that Link just go and hunt some stop losses around these levels. Like at this moment, Link again in a stop loss hunt and fake out mode. Few seconds, they upload data. Okay, good. Have a look on Link. Again, how many times Link did fake out? Fake out, higher high, again dropped. This beautiful fake out, higher high fake out. Again, remember there are seasons in sometimes season when you see a massive volume increase, open interest increase, and price started goes into one direction mode. In that case, it's not good for fake out. It's in that case better to look for entries for continue. And then another strategy with VWAPs that you can trade for continue. Okay, once more. What's really good confirmation for fake out? It is something like this: massive delta spike while price take higher high. Have a look on this example. Example for you of a knife. What they did: price accelerate, I think you agree with me that a lot of people that build short positions here, what they did, their stop losses were exactly here. And market maker simply by this open interest in this delta moved up to take their stop losses. And honestly, it was a perfect example where you could trade together breakout and where you could trade together fake out. Because here, when price broke this local volume profile, value area, here you could take breakout trade, volume increase, footprint increase. And when you open clusters, volume in clusters increase. Price hit key area where people hide their stop losses, and here you could take knife until retest or view up. That's example for you where you could take both trades at the same day. Once more, major idea of breakout that price were in accumulation mode and price market maker would move it to some target. Sometimes that target could be big. Sometimes the target is simply to go and take stop losses of some people. When they take stop losses of some people, often they do exactly opposite move because that's major goal of a market to create liquidity. And stop losses, it is the best liquidity. You often will see after big stop loss hunt when price do opposite move. Exactly, even this one. 35 days like that. Even this one, example for you. View up. Have a look on this beautiful stop loss hunt. Again, pay attention. Volatility decrease, price were in a range 4 days. Several days, price were here in a range. Volatility, price started slowly up. And pay attention, volume increased and there was no some domination in that volume. That's example, that's a breakout environment. When you don't have, there must be really big volume spike for pullback. As you can see here, big liquidation, pullback. But there was really dominated volume. And have a look here what they did. BTC moved up and pay attention on this significant delta and have a look how clusters were so big here inside. If you would open delta clusters here, you would see that most of the people that traded here, what they did, most of the people that took short positions, most of them here, they got liquidated. And when they got liquidated, that's you can see what happens with the market. BTC made a pullback within several hours, within several minutes from this high 7%. That's why the best to take knives after liquidations. Sometimes there could be traps, but honestly, it is advanced approach. It is advanced strategy. It is harder to take for beginners. As I told you, if big volume in the middle of a range, often it would be hard to trade it. That's why I don't take it. That's why, my friends, it is my 3 major strategies that I show to you. Let me summarize. I use breakout, bounce. I use 2 strategy, breakout. When we have breakout market, I look entry for continue, and I wait for when trend ends and some liquidation to take entry into opposite directions. That's it. Time for your questions. And from 1 to 10, share with me how the stuff was really useful for you. Remember that you won't be able to get this stuff within like few minutes, because remember that it takes time to build those strategies. For a start, every strategy that you would trade, you would do mistakes, and it's okay. What I recommend you to write down exactly on a list of paper, as I did, for example, like this one. I have such list of paper where I wrote down exactly my preconditions, why I take a trade, and just wait for those preconditions and take trades for a start on smaller volume. When you build up confidence and strategy, what you can do, you can go and trade larger volumes. Hello, Biko. What's your scale value for 15-minute time frame? Scale on Bitcoin 250 on the futures market at this moment. Maximum leverage to use to not to lose all money. Api, my friend, leverage isn't the key. The most important, what's your risk in a position? You need to know how to calculate. In ATAS, honestly, it's super simple how to calculate your position. In ATAS, you can do this stuff. You open this stuff here, long and short position. And here you can go and write down what would be your risk in position. For example, right here 100% and your risk in a position, for example, 50 USD. And it shows to you how much coin you need to trade with such stop loss. And if price go against you, you would lose that amount that you wrote. And you would never blow out your account if you use this stuff. How to find this stuff? Really simple. It is long short here. I added hotkeys for this stuff. Long position, short position here. I added hotkeys, and at this moment, I easily can open it with hotkeys. And that's it. And you would never lose it. Okay, friends. Why is taking too long to open? Why is taking too long? Because I load a lot of data. Michael, do you recommend to trade BTC when US and EU futures exchanges are closed, midnight in EU and weekend, or better during US and EU opening hours? Michael, for Bitcoin, honestly, ETF started to make quite significant impact on BTC, and because of that, I think because of that, it is sure better to trade if you have a possibility during US hours. But for altcoins, they move 24/7. That's why if you trade crypto and BNB, Solana, and other coins, trade them when it's good for you. Because remember that the most important to have good sleep and calm mind. Because if you didn't rest, you would make a lot of mistakes. Most of my mistakes when I had bad sleep. That's why sometimes better to miss a move than take a trade. Even also this example for you. Let's analyze BTC and where most of the movement happens. This moment, it is 3 a.m. I have East European time. Here, 3 a.m. biggest moment, Asia. This one, 5 p.m., it is US Open. Here, 9 a.m., it is before London Open. This biggest moment, 7 p.m., it is US Open and London close to its end. Like moments, this 3 a.m. Asia, this beautiful stop loss hunt, and all this movement started on Sunday. It was exactly Sunday, 10 a.m. It is like London 8 a.m. Movements started. This big stop loss hunt, 5 p.m. US Open. 9:30, it is nearly at the end of US close. This one, 5 p.m. US Open. Like US Open for BTC, 3 a.m. it is Asia Open. Like Asia, 9 a.m. before EU Open. This stop loss hunt yesterday, 4 p.m. Nearly US Open, and 7 p.m. Like you can see during Asia hours, and the US Open really makes sense. But other stuff, you would see 24/7 moments. Kaz Mirza, hey Yuri, how can I set up my charts exactly like yours? My friend, you can find our YouTube channel where I have a full lesson tutorial about ATAS templates, how to set it up, and the like full tutorial how to do it. Do you have range candles for BTC settings, or what are your settings? I use a cluster chart, and in a cluster chart, I use this data. It shows to me a total volume, volume profile, volume, heat map by volume. That means, what means heat map? As bigger volume, it close to red. That means like this one. I can see exactly clusters where biggest volume were traded. Sometimes have a look like this big volume, how during when market really calm, how this stuff can become local support or resistance. Biggest volume at high and price did beautiful drop. That's it. I use only this one in ATAS. I adjust to it and I like it. Okay. Okay, friends. Let me. That's why my summary for you, when you trade breakout, market must be calm, volume increase, big clusters, fake out after significant movement, and when price create a range, and you see big delta, especially at some important levels. That's it. Fake outs work badly after beautiful breakout on a bigger time frame. Okay, let me end, and my ATAS colleague let come to us.
Okay, Yuri, thank you very much for today's webinar. It was really interesting with lots of information. I just wonder, I would like to kindly ask you something. Which of the displaying methods you prefer, volume, bid-ask, or delta, and why?
Honestly, I like volume profiles the most. And what's the major reason? Because for me, it's way easier to add delta here at bottom and to see exactly that delta in a candle. But for me, it's super important to see where biggest volume traded. And for example, like yesterday, have a look at bottom BTC. What they did, biggest like massive volume traded, significant delta, open interest drop. For me, it's clear that some buyers got liquidated exactly here, and I see how much of them, because volume in the end, I still believe that volume in the end, it is way better and way important than just delta, because sometimes you would see pullback from only volume like this one, and there was nearly no delta. There were only delta for a few minutes, if you open 1 minute time frame, exactly someone got liquidated. But big volume, it shows to me that someone push a lot. And based on my experience, exactly when we see big volume, we can see way bigger movements than only delta. Only during when market tiny, when market in some range conditions, only during the time delta would become way more important when they just in a stop loss hunt mode.
Okay.
That's why like this.
Okay, and based on your experience, are there any instruments or crypto pairs where you like using your three strategies?
I think it is good for every market that are centralized when you have footprint data, because you can have footprint data on a futures market, for example, S&P 500, ES futures, gold futures, and pairs futures, and crypto. A major difference that crypto have centralized exchanges, and you can trade futures and spot. Because, for example, on a stock market, you have a lot of brokers, you have a lot of OTC, and honestly, footprint won't help you because you don't have aggregated data. That's why you can use it only where you have aggregated data, and the data must be big. That's why US market, CME, excellent, just perfect. You can use it, and crypto top exchanges, Binance, Bybit.
Okay, amazing. Thank you. Thank you once again for the webinar. I'm just pasting a link to your book, which users and spectators can download for free. And you can also watch more videos from Yuri. We are sharing the link to his playlist again to the discussion. So thank you very much for the webinars. Thank you for the attendance. I'm looking forward to see you next time, and give us thumbs up if you like our webinars. Have a very nice
Yeah,
day.
yeah. And one for a few seconds, can I say, until you end it, friends? About strategies, it takes time, and in that playlist, you'll find exact lessons where you can rewatch it many times about strategies. It's why I save that playlist. It will help you. There are lessons exactly about strategies. Because remember, I explained to you this 1 hour, but I understand how difficult this stuff, because I spent a lot of days, a lot of weeks together. And you need only to repeat to have good approaches that can work really well during uptrend, range trend, and downtrend. Have a good time. Bye, my friends.